Good morning, viewers, listeners. This is Chilo Media Broadcasting Service. We are on to news and views. This is your Chilo Media production that brings about the happenings, day-to-day happenings in our dailies, discussion, and getting your own opinions. Follow us on our YouTube, chilo.media.online, and our Facebook, chilo.media/Facebook. These are the news headlines. From Punch, we see Punch and Vanguard has it that Sanwo-Olu suspends media hate over misrepresentation of facts. Punch also has it that Lakurawa, federal government plans more troops as sex spread in North. Punch also has it, IBEDC records 8,000 energy theft cases in 10 months, vows crackdown. Punch still has it that Edo Health Commissioner uncovers construction errors at Stella Obasanjo Hospital. Punch still has it that Miss Reactions greet Kano Isba's plan to close betting shops. Punch also has it that state tackles NNPCL over extra 1 trillion subsidy payments. We see have it on Punch that 2025 budget, 13 states commits 3.8 trillion on salaries. Others. Breaking. Ebonyi government suspends health housing commissioners. OT warns against harassment at Abia State checkpoints. National Assembly questions Tinubu's loan request as customs FRS surpass revenue targets. Ondo poll 6,000 NSCDC personnel protect unpaid allowances. Students bullying colleagues risk indefinite suspension. Federal government. Channel News. Port Harcourt refineries commences crude oil processing. Still on China, Trump vows to slap 25% tariff on Mexico, Canada, 10% tariff on China. Vanguard has it that sit-at-home persists despite Simon Ekpa's arrest. Vanguard still has it. $3.5 million romance scam. Court jails 2 US-based Nigerians for 30 years. That is the news highlights. We are going on a short break. Stay with us. Commences crude oil processing. The Port Harcourt refineries in Rivers State has officially started processing crude oil, making a significant milestone for Nigeria's energy sector. Femi Sonaye, Chief Corporate Commissioner Officer of the NNPCL, hailed the development as a step forward energy independence and economic growth. Sonaye also announced that truck loading will begin immediately, with effort underway to bring the Wally refineries online soon.
That's a very superlative news to hear, sincerely. Hearing that we have a refinery that will be running soon, basically, is a very big one. It's a very big one. I think it's going to be a compensating one. Looking at that of Dangote as well, there will be no going out to refine our crude oil anymore. It's definitely going to be an interesting one.
And Sonaye also announced that truck loading will commence immediately, with effort underway to bring the Warri refineries online soon. This breaking through ends years of delay in reviving the refineries, raising hope for reduced reliance on imported fuel and improved fuel supply. However, questions remain about sustainability, effective management, and how soon Nigerians will see tangible benefits such as fuel price reduction. How exciting news from Rivers State.
Yes, right.
The Port Harcourt refineries has officially started processing crude oil. What do you see about this?
Well, it's a very interesting milestone for Nigerians, sincerely, because it means a lot. It is a very welcoming development. It's definitely going to have a strong effect on our economy. Definitely, so it's a very interesting news, and I believe it will be handled properly, because so many projects in Nigeria that the government try to put in place, most of what we see is the way it is handled, whether it is handled by the right persons, experts, and all of that. So it's a welcoming development, and I hope it is handled well so that it can actually serve Nigerians for a very
very long time, several years, Nigerians have been waiting and hoping for a time when our reliance will no longer be on imported fuel, as it has always been. And now it seems like we are taking a step in that right direction. But as with every major announcement, the key question is sustainability. Will this moment last?
That's a question that time will tell, definitely. Like I said, the right hands handling this project and also with the right minds. Because I tell you, to start a project is usually very much easier than maintaining it, sustaining it. I mentioned it earlier on at the beginning of this show that maintaining is usually the problem. You see good development in Nigeria, looking at the road construction, looking at most of the things that are done in Nigeria, even little boreholes done on the streets. Many a times after 6 months, they are nothing to write home about. So basically, sustainability is key, and I believe the government would have put that also into plans, how to sustain it. If we can have plans for all of these things can actually be planned out. If you look at experts who can draft out things that will be needed for this thing to be, checked. Because at times, when it is running for a number of times, there are times that they should be checked, times that they should be worked on, so that they don't just use and then there is no, at the end of it, the usefulness of this thing doesn't last. So basically, I believe as this is starting, the plans for sustainability and maintenance will also be carried alongside, because it will definitely have a very strong effect on our economy. Because gone are the days of there will be a reduction in the crude oil that is taken outside to be refined.
Sure.
Definitely, so it's going to have a very strong effect, because theoretically, I believe we know that this thing should affect the cost as well. Because I believe one thing that makes crude oil quite expensive is the importation. After we have sold them out, we now import them again in dollars, making the price to skyrocket. So with all of these things, we believe that it will have a big effect in Nigerian economy.
That's a valid point. The issue on ground is if managed properly. If managed properly. But the question is, if it's not well managed, the impact will not be realized.
Definitely.
And like you said, if it is well managed, the country will not need to export and refine and import at a very expensive price. And if we refine here and that will save us a lot of
it will save us cost,
a lot
save
of
us
cost.
time, save us all of the issues of importing, logistic issues, because majorly logistic issue is where we find all of these things quite on the high side. To import back what we have exported, not in the same rate, not at the same rate again. Looking at the value of naira, by the time we are exporting, you cannot compare with what we use in importing, because we are no longer importing with the same value. The value has increased, even if it is at a lesser price. But looking at the value of the naira to dollar, definitely is having gross effect, and that's why, despite the fact the crude oil is found here, yet it is still at what it is at the moment. So I think it should have a reduction. It should reduce the cost of fuel price in the nation.
The NNPCL has also announced a plan on the way to put online worry refineries. Do you think if this also come on board, do you think this will help us a lot to bring about our expected goal in bringing a consistent price reduction in our petroleum price?
Well, I would say it's a step forward. It's a step forward if that does work. But I believe there are numerous issues militating around that corner. Won't talk about data. Definitely, it is a home for so many notorious things. And I am looking at it that even if this development is there, how can they sustain it? Looking at the oil thefts over there, vandalism, and all of that. So I am looking at the issues there should be first tackled. It is almost on all of our dailies every week. Almost, it is something that almost we see almost every day. Vandalism, oil thefts. You see them bunkering and all of that. So there are a number of issues over there that could also be looked into and tackled before this development. Like I said, it's going to be a step forward. But how lasting can that step forward be is what I am considering. That ought to be looked into, make sure that it is well taken care of so that it doesn't last just a short while. And those of you viewing us at home, this is still Shiloh Media and this is Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and this is how we do it daily. News and views. Here we talk about the headlines, we talk about interesting stories on our dailies and also channels news. So if you are just joining us, don't turn the dial. We are still here to discuss more and more interesting news. We'll go on a short break now. After this time, we will be back. Stay tuned.
Jerry, this is not the first time we are hearing about Wadi definitely has started working, Port Harcourt definitely has started working. You see, Nigerians are losing faith. The question at the back of many Nigerians is, how soon? We have been hearing, how soon will this translate into reduction of price? Especially now that the petroleum price is escalating. Nigerians are out of, in fact, they are tired. As you know, this is affecting every sector, every items. It's affecting the cost of living. There is nobody that is left out in this petroleum price hike. And Nigerians are looking. How long will this not go back to what it has always been? We have always been hearing these refineries have started work. What do you think?
Well, like I said earlier, in theoretically, this local refining should reduce the cost, theoretically. Now it now depends on how the government handles it, handles the subsidy, handles tax, handles all of the things surrounding this. Surrounding both the supply chain, the taxes, like I said, and also subsidy. It will all be dependent on this. But theoretically, from the way I have painted it, it's just like I am getting a leather here for 20 naira and I am exporting it at the rate of maybe 25 naira to be changed into bag. So the moment it doesn't change, the moment it is coming back, there is a big issue. So after the short break, we will be back. We are sorry for the technical. Okay, you're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and this is News and Views, where we talk about news highlights from different dailies and also channels news. We love to talk about the happenings happening in Nigeria and in diaspora as well. And we've been discussing about the issue of the new refinery that is just getting started in Port Harcourt, and we see it as a very welcoming development, and we are optimistic that yes, it is well sustained. But what do you think? If you're just joining us, you can comment on our Facebook page and YouTube page as well, and you can also download our radio app, Shiloh Media. It is right there at the corner. Just download, and then you can always listen to us. This program also is right on our radio app, so just get it on your phone, and then Swift, you can always listen and also contribute. So if you are on the Facebook, just drop your comments. Do you think this new refinery in Port Harcourt that will be beginning quite soon, do you think it's going to have an effect on the reduction of fuel price? What do you think? Let's know what you think, and let's see and rub minds together and see what could come out of this new development. Like I said, it will be another big one if the one in Delta is kick-started as well. Then we have the one at Port Harcourt, we have the one at Delta, although the issues at Delta is what I still feel is quite eminent and should be tackled first before the main is done. So, like I said, if you're just joining us, this is still News and Views. We still have a couple of news to talk about, and you don't want to turn the dial up because we are going to be bringing a lot your way today. So, Mr. Oluwafemi, we have another beautiful news on our decks that we want to talk about.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Alomatu. staying tuned. Once again, we are sorry for these technical issues we'll be having. And the next news on our highlight is Sanwo-Olu response suspense. Sanwo-Olu suspends media aid over misrepresentation of facts. Can you see that?
It is another angle of today's. We can actually see it on Punch paper and Vanguard as well, whereby you see him trying to quite, even both parties trying to distance themselves from the officiality of that statement, although we couldn't lay holds on the actual fact by the media aid because it must have been deleted, but as we could see on channels as well, channels posted it, premiums posted it, sorry for that, premium news posted it, and then we got the response of also the media aid that was saying that it was a personal stuff. So we would be going on a very short break now. After now, stay tuned, we'll be back. Okay, you're welcome back, and we are really, really sorry for all of the issues that we've been having, and we beg your pardon. We'll look for a way to just make sure all of these things doesn't come and affect all of these shows some other time. So this is still Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and we are bringing you news and views, updates around the world, talking about happenings that are peculiar to our nation and also the diaspora. Like I said, if you're just joining us, we've had a couple of discussion already in the studio, Shiloh Broadcasting Service, where we have talked about the development in Port Harcourt, the new refinery, of which we said would be a very big compliment to that of Dangote, sincerely, to be a very big compliment. And if we're going to be having, yes, that of Delta State, because we are looking at a way forward, and then we are looking at it that it is very much possible for us to have both of them running at the same time. But of course, with the issues in Delta, I feel it should be tackled first before other development is welcome, especially in Delta. And if you're just joining us, you can always use our comment section. Say what you feel. Do you think this new refinery in Port Harcourt is going to have an effect on the cost of fuel? If you think it's going to be having an effect, just drop your comments. And if you feel it's not going to be having that, it's just going to be like the old ways, let's also know how you feel. Let's also feel your pain. Let's also feel what it seems like, or what is going on within, or what you think in your mind that this thing would really have an effect on the cost of food production. Sincerely, I feel it should. So if you feel it should, let's hear you out. And if you feel it doesn't, let's know why you think so in our comment section on Facebook and on YouTube, Shiloh Media/Facebook, and on YouTube, Shiloh.media online. So let's get all of your comment section, and I promise you we will be replying to all of that. So Mr. Oluwafemi, you have something juicy on our table again.
Thank you, Mr. Lomatu. Next on our table is Sanwo-Olu suspends his media aid over misrepresentation of facts. And the story has it that Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu suspended his senior special assistant on print media, Mr. Wale Ajetumobi, over a sweet misrepresenting facts about past events. Ajetumobi had tweeted about alleged executions of individuals involved in the 2020 NSAS arson at TVC station, later declaring that the term executed was used erroneously and reflected his personal opinion, not the governor's stance. The government affirmed its stance against extrajudicial actions. Mr. Alomatu.
Well, I think I spoke a little about this earlier on, where we talked about the government and then the media aide himself, Mr. Wale, distancing himself also from, distancing that comment on his personal page from that of what the government feels or they are known for. Sincerely, I feel the use of social media should be, at least by a media aide, you should carry it out with all caution, whether it is the government's view or a personal view. Although everybody is entitled to his own opinion, but from a public figure, as the media aide to the governor, every of your statements can be read into. And we saw how different comments were made, and then he had to come out to say the execution he meant there was erroneously used, that's not what he meant. And then the government also, the state government, Sanwo-Olu also said that is not what they stand for, that is not what they are known for, that was his personal, and he also affirmed to Mr. Wale also affirmed to it that was his personal opinion, and that wasn't what he meant, that it was erroneously used.
Mr. Lomatu, let me just quickly put it in that as in this digital age, how can we diffuse the personal opinion to your responsibility as government officials?
Well,
like this case of Ajay.
Okay. Well, I see it as, like I said earlier on, as a public figure, it is quite unfortunate that we don't understand the influence that you carry as a public figure. If I go on my page now and say the same thing, attention might not be given to whatever I am saying. But as a public figure that stands and they know this is who you represent, and for you to be the print media personnel, special assistant to the government, whether it is on the official page or a personal page, they see everything as something they can hold on to. If someone like the president of Nigeria comes out and says anything and say this is my personal opinion, nobody's going to take it lightly with him, because he carries a level of influence. He has the power to influence so many persons. And that reminds me of the case of Simon Ekpa and the issue of sit at home. He was actually arrested for the case of inciting violence in Nigeria. He doesn't really have to be in Nigeria to do that. He carries a level of influence. And as a public figure, whether you call yourself content creator, because that's what he's calling himself now, he said he's a content creator. Whatever you call yourself, provided you are a man of influence, you're a public figure, your opinion itself must be validated. You must be accountable to it. You don't just say anything because you feel like saying it. Not even public figure. It will get to a point in time whereby we will have to censor what is posted online. Social media and Twitter especially. Twitter is not a place whereby you want to make mistakes. You make mistakes, you collect it, like my people say, boost. They don't waste for you.
In other words, there is responsibility, and you are accountable to whatever you post.
Say or post. That is simply how social media is, because social media never forget. Despite the fact it is deleted, because we can't find any of it at the moment. It is deleted, but we still have a screenshot of it. So social media never forgets. Anything you're saying, you want to be responsible to everything and accountable for them.
Questions for audience participation? I guess you have some questions.
Well, we always want our audience to also get affected by this. We want to know, because this thing affects me, affects you, and we want to know how you feel. What do you think? Be balancing a personal opinion as a public figure, and then the official as possibly like Mr. Wale's case, balancing it. Do you think there is a way you can balance the personal opinion and detach it solely from that of an official statement, or an official statement of the state government probably? What do you think? Do you think it is possible? And what do you think about the use of social media as well? Do you think social media is properly used? Do you think social media should be censored? Do you think there should be a ban on social media? There was a time Twitter was banned, and then people had to start using VPNs to access it. So what do you think? Let's know what you feel about the use of social media, whether there's a way it can be censored, if there's a way it can be at least reduced, because I tell you, Twitter is no-go area for someone who is not, well-fed or ready to get, dragged at any time, at any point in time. So let's hear your opinion about all of these discussions we're having in the studio.
Next on our table is Lakurawa. federal government plans more troops as set spreads in north. Expansion of Lakurawa set in the north central. The Lakurawa set, a terrorist group initially active in Sokoto and Kebbi states, has expanded operations into Niger and Kaduna states. This has raised alarm among state governments. It has raised alarm among state governments, security agencies, residents, particularly after the November 8 attack on Mera village, Kebbi State, which left 17 people dead and saw significant property damage. Federal and state government response. The federal government has promised to deploy more military formation, troops and equipment to the affected states. Sokoto State has enhanced its security infrastructure by setting up air support facilities for operations Fasan Yama, providing vehicles and allowances to security agencies, and creating the Sokoto State Community Guards to assist with intelligence gathering. Niger, Kebbi, and Kaduna states are collaborating with federal authorities to develop a united front against the sects. Following military intervention, some affected areas report improved security, enabling farmers to return to their fields. However, residents remain concerned about the durability of these measures without sustained military presence. The Lakurawa set has expanded operations to new territories, raising security concerns. What does it say about the challenges of interstate security collaboration in Nigeria?
Well, like you have heard it, basically this set, Lakurawa set, definitely is another big blow to Nigerians and also to the government of Nigeria, because basically we are here to tackle that of the Boko Haram, and then we are having another terrorist group. I tell you, it's going to have threatening effects. Like we saw November 8th, that attack was devastating. About 17 persons were dead, just like that. And now we are seeing they are spreading even from KB. We are seeing that they are spreading down to Sokoto, Kaduna, and other places. So definitely, it's going to have a very, very challenging effect on Nigerians as a whole.
Question for our viewers and listeners. Mr. Lamatu.
Well, to engage in this conversation, definitely, what do you think about this? Or which ways do you think they can tackle these security issues? Because it is not something we're expecting. And for this group to come on board again and say there is another set terrorizing the country, it means they have actually done their own homework, because they cannot just come into play with our formidable security agencies and all of that. They just came and then they are making grievous impact in the society. So if you know you want to join in our conversation, just drop your comment section, and after this short break, we'll be back to discuss more interesting stories about the happenings in Nigeria and in diaspora. Stay tuned. This is Tishilo Broadcasting Service. welcome back. This is still Shiloh Broadcasting Service, and I am Jerry, and with me is Mr. Oluwafemi. We've been having a quite beautiful, beautiful time in the studio talking about the happenings in Nigeria. This is News and Views. This is where we talk about news in discussion, news highlights, and then like a snapshot, so that you get to know what is happening in your world today. And we've discussed about the issue of the media aide who made an erroneous mistake, and then he got suspended from his duties. Basically, the aide of Sanwo-Olu made an erroneous mistake, a costly one at that, saying that there were executions on his post, like it's stated, execution of some of these persons that vandalized the TVC station. So he has retracted his statement, saying that that was not what he meant, and then it was established in subsequent tweets. And we've also talked about this new sect group, the Lakurawas group. Those group are another sect group, terrorist group, that are making bad waves in Kebbi State and also spreading down to Sokoto as well. And it is something that we want to look, we want something to be done about it as fast as possible. We are calling the government, calling our security agencies, because definitely it is going to be a very bad one. Like we saw in Kebbi State, we saw how devastating it was. November 8th, 17 people just lost their life due to this group's impact. We also talked about the headline, the IBEDC, yes, records 8,000 energy theft cases within 10 months. That is another area that I think needs to be looked into. The area whereby we have thefts in the energy sector, and we can see that is a very big, I believe that's a crackdown, because it's really going to have effect on the economy, and that is just about 8,000 cases that was talked about. We also talked about cases of the money that Tinubu wants to borrow. It is now making waves. Some persons are saying that, why do we need to borrow despite the amount of money we have made? We had a target of, we are given a target of about 1 trillion, and we got 3 trillion. We are given a target of 5 trillion, and we've gotten 4 trillion. They are actually arguing the fact that, what do we actually need to borrow for if we were able to meet this target and then surpass them? But Ed was actually confronting that fact that that doesn't have any effect on the need for them to borrow. The National Assembly has approved of it. So I think Mr. Edu has a say as well. Since the National Assembly has argued about it, and then they feel there is nothing wrong in Tinubu going outside to seek loan. Also, we talked about the ban of belts. They are about to ban belts in the north, particularly this Kano state. I definitely would support that, because, well, they have their reasons, but yet, I don't know, it is really causing havoc among the youths. You see young ones using both their money, their parents' money. I think there was a guy that was sent on an errand. I knew a guy like that. He was sent on an errand, and he used 15,000 naira to play bet. It was remaining, I think, maybe 1,500 naira. And then he looked at it, he has lost 14,500. What do you think? Let him risk this last 500 naira and see what comes out of it. And then he risked that one as well, and everything was gone. So this betting stuff, I believe it is for the better good, and I don't see it as a bad idea either. We are also talking about, yes, the Champions League matches for today. We are going to be seeing Champions League matches today and tomorrow. And one interesting news, or one devastating news for Real Madrid fans, is that Vinicius Junior will not be available for the clash between Real Madrid and Liverpool. We don't know how that will be, but we believe their super signing Mbappe will come into play, and then we are going to see something interesting tomorrow. And then we don't know how to go. Remember, Liverpool is having a very interesting outing this season. They've had quite a remarkable one, and they are not slowing down or slowing their pace. But today we are going to be seeing Slovenia, and they'll be locking arms with AC Milan. AC Milan will be visiting Slovenia for their match today. Sparta Prague also will be locking horns with Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid will be seen on the display today. Brest and Barcelona also will be locking horns today, as well as Bayer Leverkusen, Salzburg. Salzburg also will be seen on display today. Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain also will be seen on display. That is one match you don't want to miss. Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain. These two sides are great giants when we talk about football in their leagues. If you see the German league, look at also the French league. These two are strong sides, and it will be a very, very interesting outing. Inter Milan also will be locking on with RB Leipzig. So we are going to be seeing all of these matches. And then another big one to see is Manchester City. Although Manchester City has not been having an impressive outing this season, Guardiola having about 4 or 5 losses, consecutive losses, and it is a bad one to his repute, because this is the first time we are going to be seeing something of such, and it is not really, really a good one for Manchester City. And so we'll be seeing them on display with Feyenoord, and we are also going to be seeing Sporting CP. We'll be locking on also with Arsenal, Young Boys as well with Atlanta. These are the Champion League matches we are going to be seeing today. You don't want to miss any of that. If you really have something to do around that, I believe you don't want to put anything, or you don't want to schedule anything for that time, because I tell you, you don't want to miss any of those matches, because I tell you, there are matches that will be mind-blowing, and tomorrow soon will be, a bigger one, Liverpool, Real Madrid. So
Mr. Alomatu, I know you want to round up the production for today. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I just want to ask you, you see us promoting these foreign leagues, international leagues. When are we going to start promoting our local leagues? What is happening in our local leagues? What are our local leagues not improving?
We cannot say they are not improving. Gone are the days you could hardly find even all of these things on the media, but now you see it even in some of these apps. You see most of these matches are now well documented, but I tell you, there is still a lot for us to do. Sincerely, there is still a lot for us to do as media practitioners and sports analysts. We still have a lot to do, so that we can also give that kind of branding and promotion to our national leagues. I tell you, they are doing well. We have good players, we have everything in place, but we just have little or more to do concerning the promotion of our national league. Like I said, we have not gotten there, but we are making waves.
Thank you.
So this is still Shiloh Media, and this is Shiloh Broadcasting Service. If you haven't become a fan of Shiloh Broadcasting Service, I'm asking, what are you waiting for? Because we bring you exciting news. And like I said, we have a radio app. You want to key into that, you can download our radio app, Shiloh Media. It is right on